This is my review on Deja Vu Season 4 Reunion Part 2. I feel like they need to bring back Mar and LaRue as well, just for the confessional as well, because I know they didn't really have much fades, even though obviously LaRue fades Nola at the reunion. And then obviously Mar has a fight with Joyce at the end. Laurie, I'm gonna say give her one more season just to see how she is, because I even forgot about some of her scenes that she did have, because I think she was more proactive at the beginning of the show, but then we didn't really see her and she kind of faded into the background towards the end of the show. So from my understanding as well, half the cast didn't come. So the Cuban doll didn't come, Exotica didn't come, Wet Wet didn't come, Amber didn't come, Melanie didn't come, Melanie Fox, DTB didn't come either, and Cuban Doll's friend as well, I forgot her name, she also didn't come as well. So what was the point of the reunion if half the cast and some of the people that had the most fades and we needed dialogue from didn't even attend? Then we have Nola, Don, and I think it was Ali that arrive for the reunion. But I feel like, again, a lot of the conversations they were having in the back rooms they should have had on stage, because it took forever for them to get on stage as well. Obviously we have another part to the reunion, which I hope is the finale this Wednesday, because obviously now they've changed the date of when the reunions are coming out. So I think the Young Reckless one is done for now. The last one that is set to be I would say pushed out is the Deja Vu reunion part 3. I can't lie though, LaRue and Mar, when they talked about Ali that time, was funny, but at the same time it's down to the editor who edited that he needs to have the issue with, not them that made the joke. Because obviously he said he was laughing anyway, and he was, he didn't take it to heart. We then finally, after 10,000 years, get Deja Rain and Rick Rosa on stage now, because they're talking and they're starting off the reunion after nearly 2 episodes of nothing. And then Deja now highlights that she's upset that Diamond didn't give props to Now That's TV for the reason why she's blown up in a sense. Even though obviously Diamond was known before reality TV, but the first reality TV show she technically did was Deja Vu with Now That's TV. And she said basically that Diamond is giving more, like, basically more credit to the other network, which obviously they would like to say the name, which is Zeus. But if we're going to be honest though, Zeus did blow her up to the point where she was getting recognised more. Yes, she was still recognised from Now That's TV, but she was more recognised on Zeus as well. And then that's how she ended up with a record deal as well, because of her collaborations with Zeus. She was able to still leverage different deals to get higher up on the totem pole. I do agree with Rick Rosa as well. Maybe he does need to come back as a reunion host, because nobody is topping how Gucci was on Deja Vu as well. Like, we haven't had that before. Everyone just, as he says, wants to be eye candy. Nobody wants to get in the field and all that other stuff. However, DTB, the show is her, so I'm surprised she didn't come to the reunion at all, which is kind of crazy. But I know they were filming Baddies USA at this time as well, so I don't know if she had other bookings or other priorities that she had to attend. However, I don't know how they're going to replace her and who they're going to replace her with, because obviously I don't know if she's come back for another season, because obviously this one was about Deja Vu Returns, and then who's going to be there next season. I also don't understand why Exotica turned down the reunion either, because they said, oh, in the back room with LaRue, Mal and Laurie, they were talking about possibly she turned it down because they were negotiating pay and they couldn't come to some sort of agreement with amount that they both would be satisfied with. Now That's TV and Exotica. So I'm not sure if that is the reason why in regards to payment dispute. It wasn't clear, but it was implied that Don did a thing with Naira, but I'm so confused as to what that has to do with Nola though. I don't know why also Mal is so hell-bent on misgenderizing Joyce as well. He already knows her pronouns and how she doesn't like being misgenderized, and he still continues to do it. And I'm just thinking, if now she did it to you, you wouldn't like it. I feel like they were straddling the fence a bit in regards to what Joyce said at the very beginning. And also, wasn't he planning to sue Joyce, but now he's still got, I will basically just settle for apology and stuff. And I'm just thinking, an apology of what you said that she said. I don't know what, I even forgot what she said, but we'll get into it. And then he was even threatening to sue her. I'm thinking, sue her, but she has no money. She has no money for you to win the case anyway, and you'd be paying out of your pocket in lawyer fees or solicitor fees for what? I'm not even going to repeat what they said, Joyce said about Mal and his son, but I'm just like, it's too far when you bring up kids as well. But again, as Joyce said, where's the line when personal is personal? Because obviously they were doing stuff to her, but I feel like she also knows that talking about children is out of the, it should be basically off limits anyway. So this is what I like. They pulled up the receipts of the voice note of Joyce, basically. I think it's on an old account that's been disabled since then. And she basically said that, oh, she heard this from his baby mother, and then Ma was denying it, and then obviously he said that she created the rumor herself. It's not that she said that, she just threw someone's name in there, so obviously she wouldn't be liable if anything was to go further. However, with this situation, it is a bit sticky, because with Playboy's Miami that just aired last year, or was just filming last year, Mal did the same thing to Cashie's brother, who is, I think he's disabled. think he has Down syndrome, which is a disability, and he was mocking him as well, saying all the other slurs and everything. So it's like, where do people draw the line if you're doing this to other people? But now, obviously, when it's personal and it hits you, now you want an apology. Now you want someone to be held accountable. We obviously he's apologized to Cashy, whatever, but it's like still the damage is done. I have to give it to Joyce though. She knows how to dress. Like she came with the hair laid, the wig down, and the heels. Still unclear what happened between Joyce and Rick Rosa, because Rick Rosa is like, oh, she's just having a moment because of her star sign, which I don't understand completely. But then Joyce isn't really clarifying what Rick Rosa did necessarily. She's just saying she don't really mess with him. I feel like it was really big for Mal to apologise on. I'm glad that Joyce held herself accountable, and it's a shame that the two hosts that are there, Deja and Rick Rosa, couldn't even mediate. Had to take Laurie, uh, a person on the show basically to mediate between the two, because this is what I mean with some of the hosts as well. I feel like they need to get some of these people back in some sort of like, maybe I don't know, some sort of workshop to actually host. Can't lie, I skipped the scene of Duke, Sean and Levi in the back room. Like, bear in mind we're halfway through the reunion at this point as well, and no fades have been called, none. Also, I feel like Duke needs to stop skating around certain issues. He is heavily transphobic, so him trying to say, oh, you know, Joyce used to trigger me, whatever, used to is the key word here because she still does, and he's lying to us as the audience. I thought Laurie was very stupid for suggesting that Joyce comes over to sit on the couch with her when there's two people she's currently having beef with. One, she's already resolved, but you never know, he may just hit her. For the sake of it, that's Mal. And then two is Duke, who is heavily transphobic, and it's not needed. Why would she go over there? And what are you going to do if they put their hands on it? You're not going to do anything. I'm glad Rick Rosa could have done this reunion himself, I'm honest. No shade to Deja, but she wasn't doing much. But it's true what Rick Rosa said. Duke wasn't setting himself in certain situations. They only were giving him camera time if it had anything to do with Joyce and was in the confessional talking about her or talking around the situation about her. I think LaRue just needs to own what she said in these confessionals during the reunion of Deja, or not reunion, the filming of Deja Vu as well. You were being shady. You called her homeless. I said she looked homeless as well because she wasn't put together in a sense. But if that was you, you wouldn't like if someone made those comments. Nola needs to understand that LaRue is going to stand on her comments in regards to, she's not going to admit it's shady. She's just going to say, oh, but it's just the confessional, just the confessional. But she's not going to take accountability, and, you know, you're not getting that apology at all. She's not going to. That's why they had to run it. I would say it was a tie between LaRue and Nola. LaRue was getting it in the beginning with the face. I think, no, Nola was getting it in the beginning with the face shots. Then LaRue started doing it too. But then when they fell to the floor, it was just like, I don't know. Ivory enters, and then I believe she misses Flying Eye from the conversation or stuff. She was, when Rick Rose was saying that as well, because, like, you could tell there's still love there between them despite them fighting. But yeah. I also, again, don't understand why Donye was at the reunion. Like, were they, the people that they added from this reunion as well, like, obviously they had old cast members and they're trying to add new people in, but it just doesn't make any sense. What are you trying to make Deja Vu into? Because Donye, for me, doesn't make sense for Deja Vu unless without her partner. The same with Ivory. It's like you have to have a show with. We need to stop putting the couples together on these shows. We need to see the individual personality. We can't just have Donye constantly on South Central Baddies, and then we can't just have Ivory constantly on, I don't know, every show and not letting anyone else prosper. Then we had a brief preview of the fight between Ali and Levi. I feel like the fight was pathetic. Ali did that whole jumping out the window for no reason, just to his shoulder to dislocate, and you didn't even throw one punch. You just jumped like this on him. Like, what was the point?